Hey everybody, welcome to Hockey Skate Down. Before we get into the video, I just want to say thank you to all my subscribers. If you want to join our hockey team, it's free. Click subscribe, hit the notification bell to all. Thank you all so much, and let's get started. So, with the Toronto Maple Leafs losing to the Florida Panthers in 7 games this year, they face a lot of questions. The first question at the top of that list is what happens to Mitch Marner? Will the Toronto Maple Leafs try more and more times to try to sign him? Or will they let him walk via free agency? Or what does Mitch Marner have planned? You know, you heard him leading into this year, beginning of the year, mid-year. He wants to be back. He wants to play with the Toronto Maple Leafs. He wants to sign a long-term contract. But there is news coming out now that they tried to sign him to a long-term contract, and which would have been the largest in franchise history, but he declined. So, you know, a lot of things leading into this. You know, where is he thinking? Does he want to stay with the Toronto Maple Leafs? You know, Toronto-born kid. Does he want to finish out his career, or does he want to go elsewhere? We heard all the rumblings going on that he's, he's tired of the media. You know, he doesn't like the media attraction that comes along with his team, especially as of late, because every year they feel like they don't win a cup, that pressure just mounts on the player. And every single thing that is said or done is multiplied by a million in the media. So, you know, does he want a fresh start with other teams? And that's kind of what a lot of analysts are thinking right now. You know, when he was asked after the season ended, he said he's forever grateful to be able to wear this Maple Leaf, that they took the chance on a small Toronto kid, and he's forever grateful for that. Mitch Marner was asked if he wants to be a Maple Leaf next year, and his key words, and this is what's been going around social media for the past couple of weeks: I've always loved, past tense, my time here, loved being here. So that's where, put a lot of stock into what he's saying with that. He also went on to say that he hasn't had a chance to sit down and discuss his future with his wife. He spoke fondly of his time in Toronto, but he didn't say he wanted to be back like he has in the past. So even there was a mid-season rare interview done with him where it was him alone with an interviewer, and the interviewer even said that he took out of it that, he was 50-50 on what he wanted to decide for his future, but he was more likely sounding like he wanted out of Toronto. So, looking at the coach wants him back. Craig Berube was asked if he would like to see Marner and Tavares re-signed. He said 100%. Nylander was asked about, them bringing back Marner. He says he wants both back. Same thing like Craig Berube said. Says losing in Game 7 to the Cup champions shows they took a step. That's the thing. They did. They had a better team this year. They had a more well-rounded, suited team to compete. And, man, they played the Florida Panthers really hard. You see the way the Florida Panthers are dominating against the Carolina Hurricanes now. So, they had a hard test going up against the Cup champs. The Florida Panthers are a team that's built to win, and they took them to Game 7. And if the Toronto Maple Leafs had a better Game 5 and Game 7, I feel like they could have won this series. I really do. They had the team this year, but, you see it time after time again. Their core four didn't step up and play and compete and battle as hard as they should have. And, if they did, they probably would have took this series. But, it's another season of questions. What are they going to do? And, with Mitch Marner having a career year, I don't know. It's still question marks all across the board. Even with Chris Johnson, he says that there's a growing sense that Marner would like a fresh start with a different team this offseason. Pierre LeBrun says that he's pretty much a done deal that Marner is going to test free agency. It sucks. It really does, because I always pictured Marner in a Leafs uniform to finish out his career, but, with a lot of teams and the cap going up, you're going to see a lot more teams having that ability to try to sign him. And, looking at what Marner did this year, still very young, 28 years old, 6 foot, 180 pounds, right wing. His 6-year, $10.9 million AAV contract comes to an end, so he's a free agent. Any team can sign him, but they can only sign him to a 7-year deal. The Toronto Maple Leafs can give him that 8th year, so you got to always think about that. Looking back at this past year, 81 games played, 27 goals, 75 assists for 102 points. Looking at last year, he played in 69 games, 26 goals, 59 assists for 85 points. In 22-23, he played in 80 games, 30 goals, 69 assists for 99 points. He's played for his career 657 games played, 221 goals, 520 assists for 741 points. He's hit the 30-goal mark twice in his career and 25-plus goals 5 times in his career. In the playoffs, 70 games played, 13 goals, 50 assists for 63 points. And this year's playoff run, he played in 13 games, 2 goals, 11 assists for 13 points. So, he kind of breaks even every playoff where you kind of expect a bit more from him. And, especially that time of year, you need your star players to step up. And year after year, that core four just didn't work. So this could be the year that the Toronto Maple Leafs finally say, enough of this, we have to make a change. But, looking at the options available in free agency, there's not a lot of 100-point guys that can produce like Marner. So I'm curious to see what the Toronto Maple Leafs do. Is this the year that they finally break up this core four and, go ahead with their team that they have now locked in and try to add some other pieces via free agency or through trade? So we'll have to wait and see what happens. But comment below, what do you think about this? I'm going to do future videos on Marner because, I want to do videos on where I think he might land. And, stuff that's going around social media about, highly contested rumors that where he might end up. So comment below. What do you think about Marner? Do you think he signs his long-term extension with the Toronto Maple Leafs, or do you think he tests free agency and goes elsewhere? Comment below and let me know. Thank you all for watching. I really appreciate your time. Smash that like button if you haven't done so, and subscribe to the Hockey Skate Down. It's free, and join our hockey team. Thank you all so much. Have a great rest of the day. Have a great night. Take it easy. Stay safe.